Listen to me with the seriousness of your soul, because what I am about to say is not entertainment, it is not theory, it is the very difference between being protected by light or being destroyed by darkness. You have demons walking with you, smiling at you, eating with you, calling themselves your friends, even sitting in your family circle. But not every smile is genuine. Not every hand that touches your shoulder comes to comfort you. Not every word that sounds sweet is born from love. Some are born from venom. Some are the whispers of darkness disguised as laughter. And if you cannot spot the demon in your circle, then the demon will spot you first. It will take your peace, it will take your faith, it will take your destiny. So listen closely, because this may be the most important message you hear today. The first truth I must tell you is this: demons rarely show themselves with horns and fire. They hide behind the faces you already trust. They wear the mask of friendship, the mask of family, the mask of loyalty. But their actions, their energy, their repeated patterns will betray them. How do you know if someone in your life is carrying the spirit of light or the shadow of destruction? You do not look at what they say once. You watch the consistency of their presence. The demon in disguise does not fail once. It drains you constantly. It criticizes constantly. It plants doubt constantly. It thrives on weakening your spirit until you are no longer standing strong, but crawling, questioning yourself, forgetting your worth, forgetting your vision, forgetting your God-given identity. You will know the demon by its fruits. What happens after you leave their presence? Do you feel empowered, uplifted, ready to grow? Or do you feel drained, heavy, restless, confused? Pay attention. Your spirit already knows. Your soul senses the difference. Demons don't always attack with visible rage. Sometimes they work with quiet poison. A so-called friend who mocks your dreams is a demon whispering through them. A family member who constantly reminds you of your failures but never celebrates your progress is a demon using their mouth as a dagger. The demon is not in their blood, it is in their energy. And if you ignore it, it will eat your confidence, your future, your vision, until you look in the mirror and no longer recognize the warrior you were meant to be. Let me tell you something that will shock you. Demons will often come dressed as your biggest supporters in the beginning. They clap the loudest when you are small. They encourage you when you are safe, when your light is still dim. But the moment your spirit starts to grow, the moment your voice rises, the moment your vision expands, their mask begins to crack. Suddenly, their compliments turn into sarcasm. Their help turns into competition. Their presence becomes a cage instead of a wing. That is when you must see clearly. The demon was never cheering for you. It was studying you, waiting for the day it could strike, waiting for the moment it could use your own trust to stab your back. You see, demons thrive in proximity. A stranger cannot break you the way someone close can. That is why they hide among friends and family. They use the bond of closeness to reach deeper, because the knife of betrayal cuts hardest when it comes from the one you trusted most. So if you want to spot the demon, don't just look at the words. Look at the consistency of energy. Light cannot hide. Darkness cannot fake light forever. Time always reveals the true spirit. Another sign is jealousy disguised as advice. Have you noticed? When you share your victories, some people smile with their lips, but their eyes go cold. When you tell them about your plans, they quickly change the subject. When you share your progress, they remind you of someone doing better. That is not encouragement, That is the spirit of envy trying to plant insecurity in your heart. The demon is speaking through them to make you shrink, to make you doubt yourself, to keep you from standing in your full power. The demon cannot tolerate your growth, because your growth exposes its own weakness. And so it will always try to suffocate you, not with open attack, but with subtle words, with silent disapproval, with disguised criticism. Listen, a true friend does not compete with you, they complete you. A true family member does not suffocate your vision. They support it, even when they don't fully understand it. But the demon will do the opposite. It will make you question your path. It will mock your discipline. It will dismiss your faith. It will tell you you're too much or not enough every time you try to rise. That is how you spot it. When someone's presence consistently pulls you backward instead of forward, that is not love, that is bondage. And you must see it for what it is before it destroys you. But some of you refuse to see it because you are blinded by attachment. You say, but this is my childhood friend, how can they be a demon? You say, but this is my family, they can't mean harm. Let me wake you up, demons. Do not care about your labels. They do not care about your bloodline. They do not care about your history. They only care about control. And if you give them a seat at your table, they will eat everything on your plate and leave you starving in your own home. Now let me go deeper. Some demons operate through silence. They never encourage you, never uplift you, but they stay close, watching, waiting, collecting information. They never clap for you in public, but they secretly monitor your every move. Why? Because demons are afraid of light, but obsessed with it. They cannot create light on their own, so they try to attach themselves to yours. They hope that by staying close enough, they can dim it, control it, or destroy it. Be very careful of those who never celebrate you yet never leave you. Their loyalty is not love, it is surveillance. And let me expose one more truth. The demon often speaks in the language of care. Have you noticed how some people disguise control as concern? They tell you, I just don't want you to get hurt. But in reality, they don't want you to grow. They say, are you sure you can handle this? But what they mean is, I hope you fail so you never outshine me. They pretend that their words are protection, but their spirit is limitation. That is not care. That is fear. And fear is the language of the demon. You must sharpen your spirit to discern. Not every family member is your destiny partner. Not every friend is your ally. Some are simply hosts for the spirit of darkness. And the moment you realize this, you take back your power. You stop giving blind loyalty to those who drain you. You stop making excuses for those who constantly hurt you. You stop confusing blood with love and friendship with destiny. You recognize that your spirit is your responsibility, and protecting it is not betrayal, it is wisdom. The most dangerous thing you can do in life is to ignore the energy around you, because demons do not destroy you all at once. They erode you slowly. They eat away at yourself, belief one word at a time. They poison your peace one argument at a time. They weaken your spirit one doubt at a time. And if you don't wake up, one day you will realize you are a shadow of yourself, living in fear, living in guilt, living under chains that were never meant for you. That is why I am telling you now, be bold enough to face the truth, even when it is uncomfortable, because the truth will save you, but lies will enslave you. You cannot heal in the presence of a demon that enjoys your wounds. You cannot rise in the presence of a spirit that feeds on your weakness. And you cannot walk with God when you allow darkness to sit at your table. Understand this: every time you keep someone in your life who secretly works against you, you are building a bridge for the enemy to walk straight into your heart. That is why discernment is not an option. It is survival. There is a reason why your spirit feels restless around certain people. There is a reason why after every conversation with them, you feel like your light has dimmed. That is your inner alarm system. That is your God-given radar telling you, wake up, this is not love, this is sabotage. Do not silence that voice. Do not ignore that nudge. Because the demon's greatest trick is convincing you that it doesn't exist. And if you fall for it, you give it power over you. Let me give you another way to spot them. Demons thrive on confusion. A true friend brings clarity, but a demon brings chaos. Have you noticed how some people always twist your words? How they always manage to turn every situation into conflict? How they always leave you second, guessing yourself? That is not a mistake. That is strategy. Because confusion weakens your spirit, and when your spirit is weak, you are easy to control. Pay attention. Where there is constant confusion, there is a demon at work. Some of you are living with demons disguised as family who pretend to love you, but deep down, they cannot stand the idea of you rising higher than them. They criticize your choices, belittle your dreams, gossip behind your back. But when confronted, they laugh and say, I was just joking, or don't take it so seriously. Do not be deceived. Jokes reveal truth. Sarcasm reveals envy. And the demon loves to use humor as a weapon because it allows poison to enter your heart without resistance. You must have the courage to say, enough. And what about the demons in friends? These are even more dangerous sometimes because friends are chosen family and you think you chose them. But some of them were sent to you by darkness itself, sent to distract you, to waste your time, to derail your focus. They are always available when you want to gossip, but never available when you want to grow. They are always free when it's time to waste energy, but suddenly busy when it's time to pursue discipline. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual assignment. Their purpose is not to push you forward, but to hold you hostage in mediocrity. So let me ask you a question. When you look at your circle, do you see builders or destroyers? Do you see people who sharpen your vision or people who blur it? Because if the majority of your circle is draining you, then you are not walking with friends. You are walking with demons in disguise. And until you change your circle, your destiny will remain in chains. Now listen to this carefully. Demons are not always loud. They are often subtle. They do not always roar. Sometimes they whisper. They whisper in discouragement. They whisper in jealousy. They whisper in manipulation. And if you don't pay attention, you will think it's just personality. No, it is spiritual. That is why you must look deeper than the surface. Not every calm smile is innocent. Not every quiet spirit is harmless. Some are simply waiting for the right moment to strike. And let me reveal something. Even deeper demons use proximity as camouflage. They stay close because distance would reveal their true identity. They volunteer to help. They offer to listen. They position themselves as indispensable. Why? Because the closer they are, the sharper the knife when they stab. The closer they are, the deeper the poison when they betray. That is why betrayal hurts so much. It doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those who once walked with you. But here is the truth you must never forget. You are not powerless. You are not defenseless. You have the authority to cut off the demons in your circle. You have the right to protect your peace, to guard your vision, to refuse access to those who bring darkness into your light. Stop thinking it is cruel to let people go. What is truly cruel is allowing yourself to drown in the name of loyalty. What is truly cruel is sacrificing your destiny to protect someone else's comfort. That is not loyalty. That is self-destruction. Let me be very clear. It is better to walk alone in peace than to walk with demons in company. It is better to lose fake friends than to lose your soul. It is better to be misunderstood for protecting your spirit than to be celebrated while being secretly poisoned. This is the wisdom the world will not teach you, but your spirit already knows it. That is why you are listening now, because something inside you has been warning you, and now you hear it confirmed in words. The demon is real and it is closer than you think. I want you to understand this truth with the weight of eternity. Demons thrive in your blind spots. They hide in the places you are unwilling to examine. They exploit the relationships you are too afraid to question. They manipulate the bonds you are too loyal to challenge. And as long as you allow sentiment to blind you, you will never see the demon standing in front of you. But once your eyes are open, once you choose truth over comfort, you will begin to see that some of the very people you call friend or family have been the gatekeepers of your chains. How do you know them? Pay attention to their reactions to your growth, because growth is the mirror that exposes the demon. When you begin to rise, when your discipline sharpens, when your vision expands, the spirit within them will be forced to reveal itself. A true soul rejoices in your growth, but a demon suffocates when you shine. They cannot clap when you succeed. They cannot support when you stretch. They cannot celebrate when you soar. Instead, they respond with sarcasm, criticism, or silence. That silence is louder than words. That silence tells you, I am not happy to see you win. Another way to spot them is by studying their pattern of presence. Do they appear only in your weakness, but vanish in your strength? Do they run to you when you are broken, but grow distant when you are blessed? That is the spirit of a demon. It feeds on your pain. It thrives in your chaos. It rejoices in your downfall. Some people in your circle are not allies. They are parasites. They draw from your energy when you are strong, and they celebrate when your spirit is weak. And if you do not discern them, you will continue to mistake their interest in your suffering for love. But hear me, now not everyone who hugs you loves you. Not everyone who checks on you cares for you. Some are simply checking to measure your weakness, to calculate their advantage, to see how much further they can push you down. And the greatest tragedy is when you keep handing them access to your heart, believing their concern is genuine, when in reality it is the strategy of a demon using intimacy as a weapon. Demons also reveal themselves in how they respond to your boundaries. A true friend respects the walls you build to protect your peace. A true family member honors the limits you set for your well-being. But a demon despises boundaries because boundaries strip them of power. The moment you say no, the moment you refuse to be manipulated, the demon's face will show. Suddenly, the one who called you brother, the one who called you sister, the one who claimed to love you unconditionally will erupt in anger, guilt-tripping, or manipulation. Why? Because boundaries expose control, and when control is broken, the demon is revealed. And you must understand, demons are not always destructive in obvious ways. Some demons work through excessive sweetness, through flattery, through overprotection. But beneath the surface, their goal is the same: to keep you dependent, to keep you small, to keep you chained. They are the ones who say, don't dream too big, just stay safe. They are the ones who insist, without me, you cannot succeed. That is not love. That is bondage disguised as care. Demons do not only attack by tearing you down, sometimes they attack by smothering you until you forget how to fly. Now let me speak to your spirit. You were not born to live in chains. You were not created to spend your life under the shadow of disguised demons. You were given light, power, destiny, and vision. And if you want to fulfill it, you must learn the sacred art of separation. Separation is not cruelty, it is survival. Separation is not betrayal, it is obedience to the higher call on your life. Because you cannot carry demons into your destiny. You cannot bring saboteurs into your sacred space. You cannot afford to be loyal to darkness while claiming to walk in light. And I tell you this boldly, God never asked you to keep demons in your circle. God never demanded that you sacrifice your destiny for toxic loyalty. If someone's presence consistently kills your peace, destroys your focus, poisons your joy, then you are not sinning by stepping away. You are protecting the light entrusted to you. And the sooner you act, the freer you will become. Think about it. How many years have you already lost to conversations that drained you? How many opportunities slipped through your fingers because someone close whispered fear into your heart? How many nights have you cried not because of strangers, but because of those you loved most? That pain was not random, it was spiritual, and until you see it for what it is, you will keep repeating the same cycle, expecting love from those who only know how to wound. But today I tell you, awaken. Sharpen your discernment. Begin to test the spirit behind every word, every action, every smile. Ask yourself, does this person's presence bring me closer to my purpose or drag me further away? Does their energy strengthen my faith or weaken it? Do they celebrate my light or try to dim it? The answer will reveal everything. Do not fear the truth. The truth may be painful, but it is liberating. The moment you see the demon, you reclaim your authority. The moment you name it, you break its power. And the moment you walk away, you open the door for divine connections, for real allies, for true love. Because for every demon you release, there is a destiny partner waiting to enter. For every false friend you cut off, there is a true friend waiting to support you. For every toxic family influence you detach from, there is a chosen family waiting to walk with you in light. Now, hear me, because this truth may sting, but it will set you free. Once you spot the demon, you must act. Recognition without action is useless. What good is it to know the snake is at your feet, yet still allow it to coil around your ankles? What good is it to recognize poison in the cup, yet still drink it? Too many of you have already seen the signs. You've already felt the heaviness after certain conversations. You've already noticed the jealousy in certain eyes. You've already heard the disguised criticism, the subtle sabotage, the fake laughter. Yet you remain silent because you are afraid of losing people. But I tell you boldly, if keeping them costs you your peace, then you have already lost yourself. Do not confuse endurance with wisdom. Some of you are enduring toxic relationships, believing it makes you strong. But strength is not proven by how long you tolerate abuse. Strength is proven by how quickly you reject it. Strength is not about carrying unnecessary weight. Strength is about knowing when to drop it so you can run your race. And make no mistake, life is a race. Every day wasted in the company of disguised demons is a day stolen from your destiny. How then should you act once you spot them? You must confront with clarity and cut with courage. Do not explain too much. Do not justify too long, because demons feed on your hesitation. The longer you negotiate with darkness, the deeper its roots grow. So when you discern it, be decisive. Remove their access. Protect your atmosphere. Guard your spirit like a warrior guarding sacred ground, because that is exactly what you are doing. You are protecting the holy ground of your soul from contamination. But let me go even deeper. Confrontation is not always outward. Sometimes it is inward. Sometimes the demon in your circle is not just in others, but in the parts of yourself you have tolerated for too long. The fear that keeps you silent, the guilt that keeps you bound, the self-doubt that keeps you small. These two are demons disguised as your personality. But no, they are not who you are. They are invaders. And if you are bold enough to cast them out of yourself, you will suddenly see with new clarity the demons in others. Because what you conquer internally sharpens your vision externally. Now, listen carefully. When you remove demons from your life, you will not always be applauded. Some will call you arrogant. Some will call you ungrateful. Some will say you have changed. And to them, you must boldly declare, yes, I have changed. I refuse to stay blind. I refuse to stay bound. I refuse to keep dining with demons and calling it fellowship. I have chosen peace over chaos, light over darkness, destiny over distraction. Let the world misunderstand me, but let my soul remain free. You must also prepare for this reality. When you cut off demons, they will not go quietly. They will slander your name, twist your story, gather others against you. Why? Because demons fear exposure. Once you see them, they lose power. And when they lose power, they try to destroy your reputation to regain control. But do not be shaken. Do not waste your energy fighting lies. Your peace will speak louder than their noise. Your progress will silence their gossip. Your destiny will outshine their schemes. Time always proves who is walking with light and who is serving darkness. But here is the wisdom you must hold in your heart. Never hate them. Never let bitterness enter your soul, because hatred binds you to the very demon you are trying to escape. Do not fight them with their weapon. Fight them with truth, with clarity, with separation. Let them go without venom, but with finality. Love them enough to release them, but love yourself enough not to take them back. This balance is the mark of true wisdom, compassion without compromise, forgiveness without foolishness. And now let me speak directly to the fear in your heart. Some of you are terrified of being alone. That is why you keep demons close, because even poison feels safer than silence. But I tell you, solitude with peace is greater than company with destruction. Loneliness will not kill you, but disguised demons will. And if you endure the temporary silence of separation, you will soon find it is not silence at all. It is space for God to send you those who are truly meant for your journey. Think about it. Every time you let go of someone who drains you, you make room for someone who strengthens you. Every time you release a false friend, you make room for a true companion. Every time you cut off a toxic tie, you make room for a divine connection. The demon's goal is not only to destroy you, but also to block what was meant to bless you. So when you remove them, you are not just protecting your peace, you are opening the door to miracles. Now listen with your whole heart, because what I am about to tell you may change the trajectory of your life. Once you have spotted the demon, once you have cut the ties, once you have removed the poison, you must not stop there. You cannot simply empty your circle. You must refill it with light, because an empty circle without discernment will attract the same darkness again. You must rebuild with wisdom. You must choose your companions with the same care that a warrior chooses weapons for battle, because your circle is not casual. It is spiritual armor. So how do you rebuild? First, seek alignment, not convenience. Too many of you have surrounded yourselves with people simply because they were available, not because they were aligned. And what is born of convenience rarely lasts. Convenience is seasonal, but alignment is eternal. The ones truly meant for your journey will not drain you, they will water you. They will not mock your discipline, they will honor it. They will not fear your light, they will add oil to it. That is how you know you have found a companion of destiny, not by how easy it feels in the beginning, but by how consistent their spirit is in the long run. Second, test every spirit. Do not rush to call someone friend. Do not rush to give someone access to your heart. Time is the great revealer. Watch how they respond to your silence. Watch how they behave in your absence. Watch how they act when you win. Watch how they act when you fail. Do they love you the same in both seasons? Or does their loyalty shift like sand in the wind? Demons cannot remain consistent for long. They will eventually expose themselves in contradiction. Let time do the work of separation. Third, never compromise your peace for companionship. Some of you are so desperate for connection that you ignore the alarms of your soul. You hear the whisper that says, "This person is not right," but you silence it because you don't want to be alone. That desperation is the demon's doorway, because darkness knows it can disguise itself as comfort if you are too afraid of solitude. But if you are willing to sit in silence until the right souls arrive, you will never again be tricked by the wrong ones. Peace is the filter. If they disturb it, they do not belong. Now let me speak this with boldness. You must understand that not everyone can walk with you into destiny, and that is not arrogance. It is alignment. Some people are meant only for a season, not for a lifetime. Some are meant only to teach you a lesson, not to accompany you on the journey. And some are meant only to expose the strength in you by betraying it. Stop trying to drag people into chapters they were never written for. Stop forcing loyalty where there is no purpose. When the season ends, let it end. If you keep holding on, you will turn a lesson into a prison. But here is the beauty. You do not need a large circle to walk in destiny. You do not need a crowd. You do not need endless validation. Even one person of light is stronger than 100 demons in disguise. Even one true ally is greater than 1,000 fake supporters. And when you walk with God, even if you walk alone, you are never truly alone, because the greatest companion of your destiny is already within you. This is why discernment is sacred, because every friend is either a bridge or a chain. Every family influence is either a covering or a curse. Every connection is either an anchor pulling you down or a wind lifting you higher. You cannot afford to be casual about it. Your destiny is too precious. Your calling is too urgent. Your spirit is too valuable. One wrong connection can delay you for years. One disguised demon can drain you until you forget who you are. But one right companion can accelerate you beyond what you ever thought possible. So protect your circle with the vigilance of a guardian. Do not be naive. Do not be sentimental. Love people, yes. Forgive people, yes. But do not confuse forgiveness with access. You can forgive someone without keeping them close. You can wish them well without letting them into your atmosphere. Forgiveness is a gift, but access is a privilege, and not everyone deserves it. And here is the ultimate truth: when you finally spot the demon, when you finally separate, when you finally rebuild with light, you will feel the weight lift off your soul. You will wake up lighter, you will walk taller, you will think clearer, because you are no longer carrying what was never meant for you. That heaviness was not yours, it was the shadow of disguised demons. And once it is gone, you will realize how much energy you still have, how much vision you still hold, how much destiny is still waiting for you. So I declare this to you: your life is too short to waste in the company of demons. Your purpose is too important to drown in the noise of disguised friends. Your peace is too sacred to hand over to family voices that work against you. This is the hour of awakening. This is the moment of clarity. This is the time to rise, to cut, to rebuild, to protect, and to walk boldly in light.